Welcome to Goodwood, West Sussex, England. Here, nestled on a 42-acre estate just across from the famous Goodwood Circuit, stands one of the most remarkable automotive facilities in the world. This is where Rolls-Royce Motor Cars creates the Spectre, the marque's first ever all-electric vehicle, and arguably the most luxurious EV ever built. Today, we'll take you inside this immaculate factory to witness the extraordinary process of building a car that starts at over $420,000 and can take up to 6 months to complete. The Goodwood facility itself is a masterpiece of modern architecture, featuring floor-to-ceiling windows that flood the assembly hall with natural light and an 8-acre living roof covered with sedum plants, the largest in the United Kingdom. This factory is designed to reflect the elegance of the vehicles it produces. But beyond its beauty, this facility represents a monumental challenge, integrating electric vehicle technology into a production line that has remained largely unchanged since 2003, where every car is predominantly hand-built by skilled craftspeople. The Spectre represents a watershed moment for Rolls-Royce. This is a company with over a century of tradition in crafting V12-powered luxury vehicles, now embracing electric propulsion. At the heart of the Spectre lies a massive 102 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack, weighing approximately 542 pounds. This battery feeds 2 electric motors, a 255 horsepower unit at the front and a more powerful 483 horsepower motor at the rear. Combined, they produce 577 horsepower and an impressive 664 pound-feet of torque. When Rolls-Royce decided to build the Spectre, the production team faced an unprecedented challenge. During a 2-week summer shutdown, 150 contractors worked around the clock to rebuild a critical section of the production line. The main innovation was extending the line by 3 hangars, keeping the Spectre suspended for the entire battery installation stage. This was necessary because once the massive battery pack is installed, the car becomes too heavy to place back on the traditional trolley system. Another fundamental change was fitting the wheels much earlier in the process. These modifications represent the most significant changes to the Goodwood production process in its entire history. The Spectre's journey begins not in Goodwood, but in Germany. The bare aluminum body arrives pre-assembled, built on Rolls-Royce's architecture of luxury platform. This aluminum space frame is incredibly rigid, with over 500 separate parts hand-welded together to create a structure that's both lightweight and phenomenally strong. When the body arrives at Goodwood, it enters the paint shop, one of the few areas where robots share duties with human craftspeople. Each Spectre is painted according to its owner's exact specifications, chosen from an almost limitless palette of colors. The painting process involves multiple layers applied both by robotic precision and human expertise. The robots ensure an ultra-smooth finish, achieving a mirror-like quality. However, human experts meticulously inspect every surface, ensuring the color matches exactly what the customer ordered. If there's even the slightest deviation, the entire process begins again. In the Rolls-Royce factory, perfection isn't a goal, it's a requirement. After painting, the Spectre moves to the powertrain installation area, and this is where the electric revolution truly becomes visible. Unlike traditional Rolls-Royce models where a massive V12 engine is lowered into the chassis, the Spectre's dual-motor setup is installed with surgical precision. The front motor and rear motor are mounted independently, each connected to their respective axles for the all-wheel drive system. The 102 kilowatt-hour battery pack is then carefully positioned along the floor of the chassis. This is a delicate operation, as the battery must be perfectly aligned and properly integrated with the vehicle's cooling system, safety systems, and structural elements. The battery's placement gives the Spectre a low center of gravity, contributing to its surprisingly agile handling for a car weighing nearly 600 pounds. If there's one area where the Spectre truly reveals its Rolls-Royce DNA, it's the interior. This is where the factory transforms from an automotive assembly line into an artisan's workshop. The leatherwork alone is extraordinary. It takes 8 to 9 full hides to dress the interior of a single Rolls-Royce, sourced from a single batch to ensure absolute consistency in color and texture. A single machinist is responsible for sewing the entire interior of one car, using a specialized double-needled sewing machine. The process can take up to 2 weeks to complete. But the real magic happens with the wood veneers. Crafting the wood trim for a single Spectre can take 30 days. The veneers are cut using a process called book matching, which ensures the wood grain remains perfectly symmetrical throughout the vehicle. Every piece of wood comes from the same tree, and Rolls-Royce keeps detailed records of each donor tree, complete with numbering and archiving. One of the most impressive features created at Goodwood is the Starlight Headliner. This feature uses more than 300 individual fiber optic strands hand-installed into the headliner to mimic the alignment of stars in the night sky. For the standard version, the pattern represents the stars that shone over Goodwood on New Year's Day, 2003, the factory's first day of operation. However, Spectre owners can commission custom star patterns representing any significant moment in their lives. Despite its traditional craftsmanship, the Spectre is packed with cutting-edge technology. The car features active anti-roll bars that disconnect during normal driving to maximize comfort, then reconnect when cornering to minimize body roll. Four-wheel steering enhances maneuverability, while active dampers continuously adjust to road conditions. The Spirit of Ecstasy, Rolls-Royce's iconic hood ornament, has been completely redesigned for the Spectre. Standing just 83 millimeters tall, the new Spirit of Ecstasy is more aerodynamic with reshaped robes. This attention to aerodynamics helped the Spectre achieve a drag coefficient of 0.25, making it the most aerodynamic production Rolls-Royce ever built. The quality control procedures are extraordinarily demanding. Every Spectre undergoes what Rolls-Royce describes as post-production quality control processes that would make NASA wince. Inspectors examine every surface, test every system, and validate every measurement. If a single issue is discovered, the entire affected section may be rebuilt from scratch. There's no concept of good enough at Goodwood. The Spectre undergoes extensive road testing on the grounds surrounding the factory. Technicians listen for any unusual sounds, feel for any vibrations, and test all electrical systems under real-world conditions. As the Spectre nears completion, it receives its final details. The hand-polished brightwork, including the signature Rolls-Royce grille, is installed. The wheels are fitted and torqued to exact specifications. Every control, every switch, every button is tested. The ambient lighting is calibrated to the customer's preference. Nothing is left to chance. The Rolls-Royce Spectre represents more than just an electric car. It represents the evolution of automotive luxury, where tradition and innovation exist in perfect harmony. With an EPA range of 264 miles and the ability to sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7 seconds, the Spectre proves that electrification and Rolls-Royce's legendary refinement are not mutually exclusive. Building a Spectre takes approximately 450 hours of labor spread across 6 months, with up to 60 skilled engineers and technicians working directly on each vehicle. Every Spectre is unique, a rolling testament to the vision of its owner and the skill of the craftspeople at Goodwood. As the completed Spectre rolls out of the factory doors, it carries with it over a century of Rolls-Royce heritage, reimagined for a sustainable future. This is not just a car. It's a masterpiece of engineering, a work of art, and a glimpse into the future of luxury automotive manufacturing, where electricity powers not just the motor, but an entirely new chapter in automotive excellence.